Hello, good morning, welcome. It's another brand new week, a new day, and new opportunities ahead of us. I'll be making the weekly outlook video now, and this is essentially what I'm expecting for the course of the week and possibly the remainder of the month. We have the dollar index here. This highlighted area is the yearly BC that I have been pointing out to for a very long time, and I said, well, I was expecting last year for us to reach into this yearly gap, then we could look for potential buying opportunities for the remainder of this year, especially considering that Donald Trump is in power now, right? So it could be some sort of sentimental move to the upside, basically saying the dollar is gaining strength just because Trump is back in power or whatever it is. Don't really care much about the politics behind it all, but I pointed this out as a possible internal range liquidity to external range liquidity move, and we could see that later in the course of the year. For now, because we are still bearish, we can still maintain our bearish stance until price starts failing. So let's divide the fair value gap in quarters, and you'll see that we still have the 25% fill. We have the 50%, which is the consequent encroachment. We have the 75%, and of course we have the 100% fill all the way down there. So we still have areas where price could decide to spool to, right? In other words, I'm still bearish until our bearish market structure or bearish movement starts failing. And for me to consider the bearish, for us to consider this to be a bearish shift, from bearish to bullish shift to the upside, I would be paying more attention to the weekly time frame, and I would like to see price dip a little bit more into this yearly gap, give us a shift, disrespect this possible weekly gap that it could create, right? Create a new weekly gap before targeting higher prices. I know that may be confusing for a few people, but we would have to wait to see what this weekly candle does and if we create a weekly gap, right? That's the first thing. Second thing, I would need a new weekly BC to form in this leg to the upside, right? So if price creates a new weekly bullish fair value gap, a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, right? If price creates a new one on the way up while disrespecting the old one, then we could of course look for potential buying opportunities to that buy side liquidity up there. For now, because we are still bearish, I'm going to remain bearish. Keep selling until your sales start failing. So let's go down back to the daily chart. On the daily, we could easily leave this day to play out. We could easily let we're almost at the 99 psychological level. Not really there, but we're almost there. I'm looking at the low of this candle and it's 99.014. So that's not really 99 flat, right? Even more of a reason to target lower prices. Anyway, if today decides to remain an inside day, what an inside day basically means is looking at the previous day, that's the high, and this is the low. There's a chance that this day, today being the new day, there's a chance it could go without taking the previous daily high or the previous daily low. All right, and if that happens, if it becomes an inside day, I would want to see a daily gap being formed somewhere like so, right? And then I would like to see tomorrow being Tuesday be the one to tag into that gap. Then we could aim for this area, the 25% fill of the yearly gap as a target, basically as some sort of internal range liquidity to external range liquidity move, something like that. So yeah, that's my expectation on the dollar. Don't really have much else to cover. This is gonna be a short weekly outlook video. If you like the video, these videos, by the way, just let me know by, of course, letting me know in the comment section. If you'd like more videos like these, you tickle the like button, and of course make sure the bell notification icon is tapped so that you get notified whenever I do release a video. Anyway, moving on to the next interest. My next interest would be silver. I know gold is technically speaking the stronger one at the moment, but I know that silver has the potential of catching up to gold and surpassing the bullish expansion that we've gotten on gold. So gold was a very clean move last week actually. I capitalized a little bit on it, but not majority. So I looked at this busy earlier on in the week because I remember I tapped it on a Monday and I was thinking of the possibility of that being the low of the week. It didn't. I don't think the low of the week happened on Monday. I think it happened the next day, creating an SMT with silver before this bullish expansion to the upside at 3200. Right, we could now maybe not sure, but maybe target 3500 level. That's a very critical level and all-time high, and a never tapped level that we could watch out for on gold. Right, anyway, this was the summary. So we got the weekly, we went down to the alignment time frame, which is the 4 hour. We got our SMT. Pay attention to this low that happened on Sunday opening, and then this happened on Monday, then this happened on Tuesday. So it's low, lower low, higher low. When you go over to silver, we got a low, we got this was the Sunday low, this was the first low, and that's the higher low, and we never actually took Sunday's low. So we could even expand the SMT to look something like I guess like this even, because we never ever came back to taking Sunday's low with silver. So when I saw that SMT, I went down again to my hourly time frame just to see if I can refine an entry. And when I was on the hourly time frame, I noticed this order block and actually a breaker as well. Right, we got a low, a high, a lower low, and a higher high, expanding with a bullish fair value gap, a massive bullish fair value gap. So this becomes our bullish breaker. So I took a trade actually. I took this trade when we tapped this breaker over here the first time. So it just sort of remained in this consolidation for majority of the week, even till Friday. And even when it started expanding, it wasn't doing so in a stunning fashion. Literally, this was Friday 10 a.m. So it literally trickled all the way up slowly. So I think because last week was a relatively speaking small range week, right? We didn't really do much. This is the entire week. We are bullish. We can see that we're bullish, right? But it didn't do so in a stunning fashion. It didn't really do it cleanly, if that makes sense. So then I paid more attention for this week. I mean, that's why it's on my top watch for the week. On the 4 hour time frame, using the same idea that we just deduced from gold, tapping a higher time frame gap, which was the weekly, and then we got the SMT at the lows as we wanted, and now we're getting the expansion to the highs. When we zoom out a little bit more to the monthly time frame, we can see where my main target is, at monthly buy side liquidity at 36 flat, basically at 36 level flat. So yeah, when we go down again to the daily time frame, we could potentially see today, let's say today does end up being bullish. That's cool, right? That'll be cool. We could potentially create a bullish fair value gap here on the daily time frame. If that happens while the remainder of today becomes choppy, then tomorrow becomes a higher probability day for us to buy silver and potentially swing it to that 36 psychological level that I talked about. When we go back again to the 4 hour, on the 4 hour chart, you see the only reason I see us taking this low, even though we're respecting a bullish fair value gap right now on the 4 hour time frame, the only reason I see us not respecting it or maybe clearing this low is because of tomorrow wanting to tap into the daily fair value gap before we get a bullish expansion. Other than that, I think from here we're good to go. Literally, if we close higher and have a solid bullish stance, we could even watch for this down close candle, this white one, to become our bullish order block, like it is, like it's doing right now. Actually, we could see silver just start expanding higher without tapping into this potential daily gap. I say it's potential because of course the day has not ended. For the daily candle to end, we still have about 8 hours and 47 minutes, so we still have a way to go. For now, can't really say much. And of course I'm trading this on futures, so I'll be paying more attention to SI1 and SIL for the micros. And yeah, that's all I have for now. I don't have anything else interesting. Yeah, the indices. I actually almost forgot about the indices. Paying attention to Nasdaq, something that I covered last week, I believe, as the intra-week update. I think if I did not, then apologies. I should have released the video, but I didn't. So here on the daily time frame on Nasdaq, we disrespected this gap, this bearish gap. So this gap was supposed to hold for lower prices when we tapped into it, but now price closed above it, and we've been using it as some sort of support, right? When we measure the most recent range, which is this last swing high all the way to that swing low, we don't even need the whole quarters. Then we can just do the premium and discount, and we can see that this gap is also the one in premium. So we disrespected the first bearish premium fair value gap, and now we could potentially see us pushing up to that buy side liquidity at 20,044.25. So for me personally, I'm looking for buys up to that level. If we continue to disrespect old PDRAs and re-respect new PDRAs, then we could potentially look for the all-time high very soon, because at the all-time high we have relative equal highs right there, relative equal highs up there. So potentially if we start getting bullish PDRAs being formed on the daily time frame especially, I am definitely looking for buys to take Nasdaq higher. And yeah, the same of course applies for ES, but ES is currently weaker than Nasdaq, so I'll be more careful with ES, and I'll rather wait for a solid confirmation when we completely disrespect this gap, create new proper bullish gaps or order blocks. Then I could look for higher prices. So let's say for example this last down close candle, okay, wick to body, something like that. Let's say we expand higher today, right? Let's say today goes very bullish and we create a new bullish fair value gap here as well in alignment with our order block. Then of course I could potentially look for buying opportunities within that area and take it to the all-time high. This of course is just a possibility. At the end of the day, the market will do whatever it wants to do. So that's what I have for now on Nasdaq, and of course dollar, and I covered the commodity silver. If you guys have anything else you'd like me to cover, just let me know in the comment section. It's been a while since someone has actually asked me to cover something, so I'm curious to know if you guys actually have anything for me to cover. If you do, let me know. For now, stay safe, good luck. As always, good trading.